All right, here we are, and we are live. And there's Pam, I bet you. Yep, sneaking in on the back row. People were asking me if we were going live. So.
Anthony!
Hey, Pam.
You need to scoot over now that I came in.
Right. I'm scooting too. We're all shifting. You okay, Pam?
Yeah, I just got up a little while ago.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get my coffee and everything set up.
Yep. I just ran in the door from the Ark. I was talking to Anthony, telling him.
Because I'm a dummy.
Well, we are live. And haven't said hello to people. By the way, guys, that guy that you can't see very well, we should switch the light, Anthony. I should be the one that's hidden. You're the nice looking young guy, and I'm the old fart here. But
I mean, I can get a light on, but the tank will be pretty blurred out.
We can see you. I mean, I should have your light on. Did
I
Ed come in?
Doing okay today, Ed.
All right. There's Maria Z. There's Mike. There's lots of links. These guys are awesome. I'll tell you. Lori, Monster Fish Gal, Rob93. Howdy, howdy. Chattanooga Ed just messaged me. Good audio and video. Video. Thank you, Maria. There's Mark Sterlson. Welcome. Rob again. Rob93. All the cool kids are here. All right, let's down to the bottom. So, well, guys, I mentioned in the description and said he's back. He really hasn't been anywhere. He just hadn't been going, doing a lot of live streaming. And when we were chatting today, he mentioned that he wanted to get back into live streaming. So I was able to kind of parlay that into a little thumbnail, or a little description. So for those of you that don't know, everybody here does know who Anthony is. I don't have to say that. Mark, I think you probably do. I'm not sure. But Anthony's one of the OGs in the fish fam, and he and Priscilla are a couple. I know everybody knows who Priscilla is as well. So Anthony happened to be off today, and I'll let them tell you about fish, Anthony. But he had messaged me and asked.
Anthony is off every day.
I know it is. Anyway, we started talking, and I asked him if he might come up some Wednesday. We have guests on Sunday, but we're probably going to try to do some on Wednesday and do some tours. I had planned to do a tour today of some of my tanks, and didn't get that posted yet. So luckily, Anthony was available. So here we are. There's Big Tank Hank, Chad Cross. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. I appreciate you. So, Anthony, do you want me to bring you up so that we can see you? I'm on my little phone, but it's up to you.
I'm all right.
You're okay where you're at?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's been going on? This is, I'm very informal. So what's been going on? Where you been? What's going
on? Well, you both know Priscilla and I started dating just over a year now.
Has it been?
So been busy with that. We've been trying to see each other at least twice a month, but the last few months have been a little tough with things going on. Ticket prices for planes have increased, so yeah, down to once a month. So I'll actually be over there next weekend. And then now that the whole world issue has been going a little bit easier, my ex-wife and I have finally decided to start taking our little one places. So I got some amusement park annual passes, so we've been doing that pretty much every Sunday, along with aquarium passes. Just trying to do a lot with my kid while we can.
How old is she now?
6. She's about to be 7 this month.
She's growing up.
Yeah. She was 4 last time I asked. She probably was.
I remember when she was little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when she was like that.
Yeah. Damn, they're getting old. Can't see them that good.
Tell us about the tank behind you.
Who? What? What about the tank?
Tell us about the tank behind you.
Oh, this was
the saltwater tank there.
I'd say this is my first long-term saltwater tank.
Now, is that the one that I remember you were setting up and I think you couldn't wait to put stuff in it?
Yeah, so kind of yes and no. That tank is actually still sitting right there, nice and empty. It's because I just had like 2 clownfish and a couple other fish, so I decided to downgrade to this one. So this is my first long-term saltwater tank. In here I still have a pair of clownfish, a dotty bat. I honestly don't know if my tiger pistol shrimp and goby combo are still in there. They've been hidden for a while, so either the pistol shrimp is molting or they didn't make it. One of the two. I have a few corals in here. I got this bubble tip nymph from Priscilla amongst some of these other corals. Got a couple hammers. I got a torch that just died. And then I got some rostozoas, the candy cane coral, some blastomusa, and I forget some of the other names. Space Invader coral, Gonophora, and yeah.
What's the light on there, Anthony?
Ooh, I got 2 Kessel A80s.
Ooh, you got the money.
Expensive.
Yeah. Buy me something.
This tank has really made me a believer of some better lights, especially when it comes to marine corals.
Yeah, that's what I've always heard, that you can get away with, lesser lights with some corals, but the fancier ones, you really need a good light.
I think virtually every coral I have in here, I could get away with some cheaper lights. But honestly, this combo isn't that expensive in comparison. I'd say you spend double the price and you end up far happier.
Right.
And that's the big area I'd say when it comes to a coral tank to spend money on.
And what kind of filter you have on it?
I do have a sump on it, so let's see if I can get this light on. I have the protein skimmer turned off right now, but water comes down here into 2 4-inch filter socks. Got my protein skimmer here. I was running my Fuge for a while, but I had like 2 nitrates for a while, and the corals didn't seem too happy. So I had it off now for about a month and a half to 2 months. From there, I do have this chamber filled with polyfill with some pyrogen and some carbon at the bottom.
Nice.
And then my return chamber.
Awesome. Now, do you feed the corals? I'm sorry if I'm asking any stupid questions, because I've never
No stupid questions.
They're not stupid, no. Great questions.
I feed them once in a while. Honestly, I feed a lot of mysis. So the bubble tip nem gets that pretty much every time I feed.
Now, do you take like a eyedropper type thing and feed them directly, or do you just put some in the tank, float around?
Not too often. As far as food goes, it's mostly the fuel for the other corals. Not all corals necessarily eat food, like I'm sure you might have heard of reefroids.
Yeah.
Not that they might not benefit from it, but they eat so little of it that you more pollute your tank than they really get a benefit.
Ah, okay.
A lot of corals grow off of more light. So that's what I'm trying to concentrate on. So my biggest eater in here is technically not a coral. Some people know, some people don't know that anemones are not actually coral. But I do target feed him. He gets krill or shrimp.
Okay, do the clownfish feed the anemone?
I haven't seen it yet. They actually don't care to host the anemone. For a long time, they were hosting my Gonophora over there.
Oh, really?
I was saying that wrong, but yeah.
What kind of clowns are they again?
They're traditional oscillaris.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised they're not hosting.
Well, I had the Gonipora for probably about a year, at least a year and a half, before I got the anemone.
Just in case any of us don't know what hosting means, will you tell us?
Hosting is basically when a fish makes that coral its home. So the smaller clownfish prefer smaller anemones like bubble tip nymphs, whereas larger clownfish might prefer the long tentacle anemones. But typically the small ones don't care for the long tentacle anemones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And they feed the coral as well. The anemone.
So I haven't seen it in my tank, but I know in the ocean the clownfish do go and feed the anemones.
The last anemone I got for my tomato clowns, they overfed it. Every time I looked in there, every time I fed them, they fed it.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
did you ever see it puke?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they put it in the center and it would pull it in. And I think I made one video of it. But I mean, every time I fed them, Anthony, they fed it. So somebody said that they overfed them. So I think that's probably what happened. So they don't have
the first time I tried feeding this anemone one of the fish, and they kept picking at it and caused it to puke up the food.
Yeah. Ed said the red lights are cool.
Oh, that's just the glow light, so I don't know if you can see off the reflection. I can, but it's probably pretty tough to see. Oh, I know. Hi. There we go. Let's see if we can see it.
Yeah.
Nope, too bright. But on there is mostly red lights and a few blue lights. I honestly think that it's an actual refugium light. I think it might be a little too strong for what I have going on.
Yeah. Now you remember the light? I know you do. That I recommend to you. It's the Opti
Bright Plus.
Bright Plus. How did that work out? I know that was for free. That's what I have on my coral tank. You know that. But it's not nearly it's a 20 long, so it's whatever, like 8 or 12 inches tall. So it gets down in there, and I have simple corals, and I have them racked. They're not on the bottom, so they get the light they need, and there's nothing in there that's hard to keep.
They weren't doing quite as well for me just because I had it on this tank, and you could see the level the corals are at.
Right.
Versus how high this tank is.
Right.
And I do really like that light as far as viewing a tank goes, because it's not super overpowering with brightness like the night crew lights are, or a lot of other lights. Honestly, most other lights I've seen that you cannot turn down. I really like how bright they are as far as viewing the tank for fish and all that.
Yeah, I love that light. I've got several of them. They are a little pricey, but they're nice.
Yeah, and that is the price point I'm really going off of if you spend double the price, you can end up with this setup.
That looks great. What about your freshwater tanks?
Freshwater tanks?
Hey, Skipper, welcome. Yeah. What are you keeping right now?
Oh, let's go to the fish room. I am downsizing like crazy, so excuse the mess because
road trip.
I am working on it right now.
I'm in this corner because everything else looks like a bomb went off in
here. All right. So at one point, I had 3 racks set up in here, and like I said, I've been pretty busy. So I've been downsizing like crazy. So I still have this rack up right here. This is right when you walk into the fish room with my RO right there. This is the rack that's going to stay. I just set up Well, I removed the old tanks and decided that I didn't want black backgrounds, especially in between the tanks,
Right.
because these are going to be 6 Neo Carradina tanks.
Okay.
So I have them cycling right now.
Now, the
That's
original
why
tanks
they're
you
so
had in
clean.
there, sorry,
Go
the
ahead, Bob.
tanks that you had in there originally, you decided you didn't want that size, right? Is that you had
Yeah,
other
especially
tanks?
because I'm going to try growing plants in here. So having the black on the sides really kills the light from tank to tank.
Right.
With it being like this, you could get a lot more light. And
Those are
then
very uniform.
down here, I'm going to be breeding some Daisy's rice fish, hopefully. So, Pam, I'll have some questions for you in a bit.
Yeah.
Here I got some Rhinogobius Zoe, Zhou, however you say that. You can see one right there. I just have 4 of them. I actually picked up one of these males for Jesse originally, and then Jesse had to move, so they didn't get shipped. And then in here, I am going to attempt to breed some minnows. And if I can't, I'm just going to go bug somebody for some that I know that can. And this little dude is going to be going to Priscilla in Colorado. Actually had 2 more, but I was treating this whole tank, came in one day, and 2 were gone. This is the only guy that's made it so far. I don't have anything in all of these tanks yet. I'm actually acclimating some fish there. All down here are going to either be guppies, and except that one tank right over there is Santa Maria Endlers. So these I got from Priscilla, who got them from Dan before he decided that they were good enough to start selling them as Santa Marias. So I'm going to see if I can improve on this to get them closer to Santa Marias.
Oh, okay.
As far as water goes, I got this big old 100-gallon thing here. Let me step back. Try to not fall over in my messy fish room, just so you know. I really mean it's messy. So I do most of my water changes from this.
What is that?
I do have that big carbon block, and then from there it goes around the room to my RO system. This is a 7-stage RO. And there I have my RO bucket. That is actually full. Wow.
How much do you get out of that a day?
That's supposed to be a 32-gallon thing, so I think it's around 28 gallons. Or are you talking about gallons per day?
Yes, gallons per day.
It's supposed to be 100 gallons per day on its own, but then I do have the booster pump right there.
Wow.
I try not to max out the PSI on this, though. I could technically go 10 more PSI. They say max of 90 PSI on the RO systems to get the most efficiency and speed out of it, I guess. But I run it at 80.
Okay.
And there I have my Zis brine shrimp hatcheries. So as far as this rat goes, I'm going to be taking all of these tanks down. I am going to try to maximize my downsize, and hopefully this will be the last time I do it for a while. What is going to go on here is a 150-gallon with a sump underneath for these guys.
Nice.
Those small tanks, you could have all kinds
So
of
they're
that
currently
going.
in a 75. The 75 has always meant to be a quarantine tank. Just with,
So cute.
again, everything
cool.
going on. And believe it or not, I got him and him, or it's, whatever you want to call them, at the same time. And look at the size difference.
Yeah.
These
What
stars
is the one on the left?
really, really fast.
What puffer is that on the left?
This one is a Stars and Stripes, and the one on the
Okay.
right is a porcupine. And then I also have a lunar wrasse, a Niger trigger, right over there. And then you probably won't see him because there's no food in the tank, but I do have a snowflake eel in here.
Oh, that's right. And he doesn't bother the wrasse or anything else?
Not so far.
Those are so cool. What
Yeah,
is that
my
red?
mom tries to call these her puffers, so I think one day her and Priscilla are going to have a fist fight.
Sounds like it. It sounds that way. I love that Stars and Stripes.
Yeah, I'm honestly seeing him attack food. I am a little scared to put my hand in the tank now. But when I first got him, I was petting him a little. And he
Yeah.
seemed to enjoy it. I just haven't in quite a few months.
Puffers are awesome. They're so wimpy, though. And I didn't understand what the LFS guy meant. My friend Zach, when he said that, because I used to have a bunch of puffers. I don't have a bunch now. I do have a few. But he was talking about puffers being wimpy. And they are. Not in a negative way.
Yeah, I actually had a flame hawk in here. And I have no idea who took it down.
Yeah, I had one Anthony in my 125, and I know who got it. I was stupid. It's the big old marine hermit crab that lives in there. He had to have gotten it.
Wow.
Yeah, hawks are awesome. Love them.
Yeah, I really like the flame hawk. I wish they'd stay a little smaller because then I'd put it in my Evo.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of you know that Priscilla's mantis shrimp died. So
Yeah.
I ended up getting a Smithy mantis. And one day I saw another peacock mantis. So I picked that peacock mantis up. Unfortunately, both of those mantises have since died.
Well, you know, I had a large one I got from the LFS a couple months ago, and it had a terrible shed. It was about to shed when I got it, and then it never recovered after the shed. Its legs were backwards, and it was so sad. It took it a couple days to die. And then I had a little mint green one, and it passed. I'm like, okay, no more of those guys. It's awful to lose something with a lot of personality. We're talking about a giveaway tonight on
Yeah,
Dance.
I actually lost my goldfish. It was technically my kid's goldfish, the one that got me into the hobby. The first little fishy that was won from the fair.
Yeah.
Got to be about 6 inches. But of course it was a feeder, so it probably had issues to begin with.
I've got 6 that they're they're comets, but they're the S comets. Maria or Mike or somebody, or you may know. Is it
Over
Sarasa?
here, I got my multifasciatus. You can see what they've done to the skate.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a royal pleco in there. That's why I have that piece of wood in there right now. Royal pleco's going to Priscilla this weekend, so I'm going to be taking it out. And then it'll be just a Shelly tank again. I don't 100% have plans for this 40 breeder yet, so lights are out. It was meant to originally just grow some plants out, but it's turned into an algae hairball in there. So it's going to be decked and turned into something else because the shrimp that are in here are actually going to go into one of the shrimp tanks up there. And then we got this 75.
What is that plant growing on the rocks or the wood there? It looks like an anubias, but
In here, got several types of anubias and ferns over there. And then, yeah, Priscilla would have to be here to tell you the names of any of them.
yeah, that's me.
And then I got some pots growing up top right now.
What kind of light are they under, those anubias?
Oh, so you guys know that Priscilla is into houseplants, and it made me dive head deep. I ended up setting up the rack that was in the middle here inside my bedroom, which I'll show you later. And I had these lights up there to grow. And I originally had these floodlights. You can see the little hole right there on the wood.
Yeah.
Drilled in right there. And this whole tank was full of hair algae. That light was just way too strong. So I switched the lights. I put these lights on the tank and the floodlights where the plants are.
I like that tank. Is there nothing?
I really like this black lava rock. I know I did a live stream or a video on the place I got this stuff before, but I did just get it at a landscape supply store. So I think for the amount of rock in this tank, I might have paid $20 to $40.
But there's nothing in there, no fish or anything?
In here are some luminatus.
Oh, yeah.
And then to help aid in my algae problem, I did put some pinkless.
What are you doing?
And some algae eaters. And then there are some blue Carradina in here. So I don't know if you can see the one right there on the rock in the middle.
Yeah.
There's another one on top of that rock. I really can't wait till they start breeding a lot more. Although the algae eaters might really get at them. And then I got some Cories, some Venezuelans.
A lot going on in there.
And then let me take you to my room to show you those tanks.
How many tanks are you running now, salt and fresh?
Let's see, there's going to be... Once I get that other rack down and the 150 up, there will be 20 tanks of fresh water in the fish room and 1 saltwater. In the living room will be 1 saltwater. In my bedroom is 1 saltwater and 4 freshwater.
That's a good start.
So, yes, I'm downsizing, but not actually too crazily.
I remember when you and Priscilla did a live stream, a collab, and you wanted me to come on, and the topic was when is enough enough, or when is enough too much, or something like that. And at the time, it really didn't occur to me until like 2/3 of the way through, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm the example. But I was still adding tanks then, and you asked me, well, when is enough enough? And I said, when I can't take care of them. So
yeah,
I'm downsizing. So I have plenty of tanks, lots of tanks still, but I've gotten in those reptiles, like I was saying.
So yeah,
there's
where
Priscilla.
I ended up being is it was enough. Got too much going on, especially with being able to enjoy the world a little more again.
Yeah.
So in here, as far as corals, I really just have rock flower anemones. And then there was a piece of this coral right there. You can't really see it. It's too blue. Let me see if I can get the regular light on. There we go. Let's take this on. Oh yeah, I forget what a lot of this stuff is called. But I had a rubber banded on there because I know it won't stick with glue. So I moved that over here. And then I have a little frammer right there that I got from Priscilla. You could probably see it.
Priscilla's in here. I don't know if you saw that. Did you hear me?
What's that?
Priscilla's in here. She came in a minute ago.
Hey, baby. So yeah, in here we got the rock flower nymphs.
That looks great.
I'll save the best tank for last. So she better eat slowly. So this is the rack I was talking about. All the plants
Nice.
going a little crazy. I actually finally found a white alder tree somewhat near me while I was working. So up there, that stuff that's dead was me trying to root some alder tree.
Oh, you really are into it.
So yeah, I went a little crazy. Got my snake's enclosure right down here now.
And that's the ball python?
Yeah, I just fed them today, so I don't think they'll be coming out.
No, he got no reason to come out. I bet he's getting big.
In here is the Cheryx Crayfish.
I forgot about that guy.
With a few fishies that I didn't know what to do with. But believe it or not, he does not get them.
Yeah.
Let's see if we could demonstrate. Oh, look, he sees me getting into the food. Into the food. So I'm currently feeding him some extreme shrimpy. And then he does get krill or shrimp or something once in a while too. But let's see if we could get how clumsy he is on here. See, look, falls right in his claw and he can't even catch it.
He didn't catch one of them. He's no good.
Not one. I have yet to see him actually catch one. So I don't think he'll be catching any of these fish.
No. I wonder if you put your finger down there. I said it before, Ed.
Yeah, I'm okay. You could try, Bob.
Yeah. Oh, thanks. I've got pinched by my marine krill a couple of times, so no more. It hurts.
And then right down here, I have a 10-gallon tank that my awesome girlfriend got me some shrimp for. I wanted these orange eye royal blue tiger. They're Carradina shrimp for a long while. And yeah, she got them for me.
How are they doing?
They have not started breeding just yet. I think they're finally getting to size, but every single one of them I put in here are alive. I just don't see any right now.
Chattanooga Ed has a question. He says, Aunt, does Priscilla make European food?
She has.
There you go. Priscilla was talking about eating at McDonald's and got everybody talking about food. Do you like it? I don't know if that's for you or not, Anthony. Ed's saying, do you like it?
Hey, leave Mario alone. He'll get you. You'll be sorry.
Schnitzel. Priscilla said schnitzel.
Yes, she has made schnitzel.
I've heard that, but I don't know what
Which
it is.
I forget what it's called, but there's something Mexicans make that's like schnitzel, but not schnitzel. So let's see. We'll try to come back here, see if I can show off some of those. Let me show off these. So this
Yeah.
tank is really cool. These are not even my tanks, so I don't even know if I should be showing them. They're Priscilla's, but this is one of my favorite views. Is the top view.
Yeah, the plants look really cool from the top.
And then this is probably my second favorite view, which is the side of this tank.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. I love it.
So in this tank right here were some King Kong shrimp. And I still don't know exactly what happened, but the tank just bombed. And I couldn't recover it. And this one is some crystal shrimp.
Love that piece of wood in there.
Now, I don't know if it's the amount of wood that is in here, but the right tank is doing far better than the left tank. And they were set up exactly the same soil, virtually the same plants, same rock, same wood. This wood was actually one piece cut in half.
I was going to say that looks very familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you setting that up, actually.
That was Priscilla's, right?
Yep. So
Yeah.
these are Priscilla's tanks.
Yep.
And because she hasn't been over here quite as often, look how unruly that is. I'm kidding. It looks really nice, and it's pretty cool. At first, it was only this other plant here, which again, I'm not sure what to say what the plant name is. That was starting to grow immersed. Immersed or merged? No, immersed. Yeah. And then it actually flowered.
Nice.
But now some of this Ludwigia is starting to grow immersed as well. You can see that little green piece where the rest is red. But yeah, this tank is right beside my bed, so I get to sleep right next to it.
I don't have luck with red plants. I really don't.
And I believe I only have one more thing to show, and I must go outside.
Yeah, right. Priscilla, she said someone needs to trim that.
Yeah, but she won't let me touch it, so...
There you go. What's the weather like right now there?
Here in California, it's pretty nice. Today is supposed to be around 72 degrees.
It's what we have right now, or had an hour ago. Yeah. So you mentioned you were going to get back into streaming. Have you got any plans about that?
It's up in the air. I'm kind of thinking Friday night, maybe Sunday morning.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, those look good. I like how you have them going one to the next. And the waterfalls. think he's talking.
So that it'll flow correctly. If I don't, then this one ends up being like 2 inches lower. But you see that one is side by side. I was having a leaking issue because I used those uni seals or UV seals, whatever they're called. It's not like these with the actual clamp, actual bulkheads. It's just a piece of rubber that you stick in there, and when you stick the pipe through, it makes the rubber expand a little bit more, supposedly causing a good seal.
Just somebody had that on a video recently. So it didn't make a good seal?
Yes, Priscilla says she has a dumb, inconsistent schedule, which is making it tough for us to choose a time. In here, I do have some guppies that you probably can't see because there's only 3 of them, a male and 4 of them, a male and 3 females. And then in here, I have my platinum white rice fish. So these rice fish did survive my winter, which I know is not a winter to most of you. But I really wanted to stick to fish that I could
You live in Bellflower, right?
to take back inside.
You live in Bellflower, right?
I live in Norwalk.
Oh, Norwalk, okay.
George lives in Bellflower.
Ah, that's right. Yep. I used to live in Bellflower.
You know, I suspect that Ed doesn't like me anymore ever since he ate a gross bag of donuts that he chose.
I remember that. Weren't they like strawberry or raspberry
shortcake
or something?
I don't know. I want to say strawberry shortcake. But the man chose some disgusting food to eat while attempting to drink heavily.
Yeah, that's nasty. Gross.
I love you, Ed.
Ed's known for his breeding and his tanks and his arts and crafts and his personality, but not his menu selection.
So originally on this setup, that top tub was my filter. I have no substrate in the large one with the koi at all. In here, I do have some black lava rock, and in here as well. The black lava rock was a lot higher, probably up to about here. And then, yeah, I had some weird contraption. Since then, I've decided to turn a 5-gallon bucket into my filter. And then I had to put this piece of plastic underneath because the water was actually running back and leaking out. So a temporary fix until I figure something else out. I figure I'll glue a piece of plastic right underneath the rim. But in here I do have black lava rock up to about right here. And then I have sponge all the way up to here. And I haven't had to clean it out once yet so far.
Nice.
What do the parameters run, or do you need to check them?
I'm going to have to go back inside. It's getting a little loud out here.
Eat shortcake.
That just sounds gross.
Made me put my coffee down.
I don't think I'd even buy something like that.
Can't finish my coffee.
Peach shortcake. Oh man, that makes it even worse, doesn't it?
Yes.
Not even a normal flavor. All right, we can take me down.
That was an awesome tour. Thank you, thank you. And let's see what's our time. We got about 15 minutes, a little less. And Anthony, Rob 93 is going tonight. And when he goes, I usually try to finish up a couple minutes early, but because most of us go over there and let everybody, let the old people let the older people go to the bathroom, and get more coffee and
I think
stuff.
everybody in here needs to get Ed a package of peach shortcake donuts and mail them.
Robert's turned Australian and he just lives up the road from me. Good day, mate. I haven't seen Robert much lately.
Oh, but we love you, Ed. It would be a good gift. 20 bags of peach shortcake donuts.
Ooh,
First and last.
that's nasty.
You see, Ed, I think your mistake was number one, getting them from the gas station, and number two, choosing to drink heavily.
I wonder what he was drinking. That's probably nasty too.
Yes, the tubs were a project.
Turned out well. I've never seen him again. I never stop at that gas station anymore.
I've never seen them. I've seen like ones that had pink frosting. I think they were strawberry or something, but I've never seen peach ones.
I wonder if they were a seasonal thing.
Mm-hmm. I want to ask more about them, but they're making me queasy. Mm-hmm. Were they fresh, or were they frozen, or were they microwave? Or...
I think they were just those bags that they put up on the shelves in the convenience store gas stations.
Oh, I got your the number you sent me, Anthony.
Awesome.
Should I mention that or not mention it, or when I get it, I'll mention it? So
That's fine if you want to mention it. Because of where they came from, I wanted to make sure that they go to someone proper. With my downsizing, I'm just not able to keep them the way I want to.
well, I'm not sure they're coming to someone proper, but we're talking about Nathan's Sand Creek Aquatics. Those of us that have been around a couple years, he's actually been gone a couple of years, and Nathan was someone that was very popular in our hobby, and Ed actually did a live stream with him, so everybody knew Nathan, but he passed away, and Ed and James went over and got his tanks and his fish and his little snake. That's where my Sandy, I named him Sandy after Sand Creek Aquatics, came from, my big snake now. But some of the fish they brought back, I took, and they were convicts. And Anthony has some of those till today. And I sent him over some of them, which was the original plan. Now that I'm thinking about it, but with his downsizing, he asked me if I wanted to take them back, and of course I do. I've still got one large male, so I've got to sort out, like in 2 or 3 days, where I'm going to put the ones that are coming back. So we've got to keep Nathan's fish in the fish fam. So.
I know Griffin wanted some at one point, but I haven't seen him in a while. But I haven't been here for a while, so
I haven't seen him for a while either.
He messaged me a couple of times, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. He got a new job and he moved, and he had things going on. Hey, Ethan. got half of our fish fan panel here, which is very nice. How many are there, Anthony? How many are coming?
I want to say 7.
Oh, okay, cool. Are there any pairs?
Not that I saw. I did see some fired up, but toward the end of me having them, I had them in a 20-gallon.
Well, I have the last one in a 10-gallon that has water hyacinth floating on it. And they're sitting in front of a window, and there's nothing in there but that and the fish and a rock and a heater because it's right over an AC duct. And I'm not even going to set those outside this summer. I usually drain the tank and set it outside, but I don't think I'm going to. I'll get a tank ready for those, maybe 2 tanks. See if I can get some breeding going. Are those like second generation or original ones?
Original. All
Are
of them.
they? Okay. Well, they're the same age. They just came with this fish. I kept 2 or 3. I can't remember.
I think you kept 3 of the largest ones because they were tougher to ship.
That's what it was. Good memory. I remember I was sending you pictures of getting them ready to go and stuff. That's right.
Yeah, I bagged them all individually into, I think they're 4-inch bags with a little bit of that ammonia removing polyfill stuff.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And then you got a couple extras in there, so I hope you have room. Nothing big.
Couple of extras. I love surprises, but rice fish. I got the rice fish. Priscilla said, "Are you too busy for fish now?" That's the way it looks, Priscilla, huh?
No, I'm just downsizing, and somebody turned me on to plants and shrimp.
Mm-hmm. Credit where credit's due, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Dreamweaver.
Yeah, I actually took my last 2 pairs of pistos to George, which, talking about credit where credit is due, sometimes a lot of us get lost in this YouTube world,
Right.
seeing what other people have and thinking, oh, I could do that too. And, if that wasn't bad enough, having the YouTube world, if that wasn't bad enough, when you got a good friend like George, for those of you who don't know who I'm talking about Aquaballs. Aquaballs lives 5 minutes from me. I used to hang out with him pretty much every weekend before COVID started, so we're really, really good friends. So seeing what he has going on over there really made me want to just expand the fish room like crazy and start breeding like crazy. But I just failed to realize some people have time and some people don't.
Yeah. It's a balance. They really do talk about it being a balance. So. The reptiles are a lot easier than the fish, or less time consuming.
And that's why Priscilla and I are starting to get a little more into reptiles. So far, she has the 2 snakes that we mentioned, 3 leopard geckos, a Pac-Man frog, and a crested gecko.
Nice. Oh, I forgot to mention that I have a leopard gecko too. It came to the Ark, and I brought it home.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Is it a regular or a certain morph?
Well, it's hard to. I only took him out and handled him once. He's eating and drinking well, but I'm going to have to handle him. I got him Saturday. That's when they brought him in, so I'm going to have to clean his quarters out soon. So I'm not sure what his tail and stuff looks like. He didn't like me picking him up, but I did to make sure he was okay.
And there we go, about to get some ferrets. I don't know where she thinks all these animals are going to go.
One of the new fish stores that opened near here has ferrets, baby ferrets. And I'm like, no, but they're so smart. I mean, they're supposed to be clean. They're not cats. Pam likes ferrets, I know.
Oh yeah,
Parrots are really cool, but I guess they're illegal to buy here in California.
yeah.
Mm.
So if
You can't
you do
even
want parrots,
bring
you
them
have to
across the
get them over
border.
there. What?
You can't even bring them across the border if you already have one. I found that out because I used to have one.
Oh wow! So I guess they'll have to be hidden in a U-Haul.
Yep. Because when they stop, when you go into California and they stop and ask if you have fruit and all that kind of stuff, ferrets is one of the things that you cannot bring across the border.
Priscilla said she ain't afraid of no popo.
Well, yeah, because she's only dealt with Colorado police. Have I told
Yeah.
you about the time that we got pulled over?
No.
Oh man! So Pam knows what police are like over here.
Yeah,
Pam, do you want to deal with the police over here?
never.
Not even in a nice way, right?
Yeah,
You just don't want to deal with them. You don't want to see them. You just no.
Really?
Well, we got pulled over there, and I'm sitting there like panicking, like ah crap, ah crap, ah crap. And Priscilla's all like with her smile, and I'm looking at her like, what the hell's going on? You're a woman of color, and had to be one of the nicest ladies on the planet. Let off with
Yeah.
a bang, like it was nothing. And I don't know if she knew I was freaking out, but
She's
she's
probably
like,
like, what's
"I'm
that
from
dude on?
LA."
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Like I was once pulled over for helping somebody who was stranded in the middle of the street. So I stopped my car behind theirs several feet with my hazards on, push theirs out of the way, and run back to my car and start going again. But, the light was red ahead, had time, and CHP turned around and pulled me over.
Unbelievable.
yeah. I got pulled over one time for not coming to. I did a California stop, so I was actually in my driveway, like turning. I turned and turned down the road that went to my house, which was just a driveway for about 4 houses. And the cop pulled in behind me and turned on the lights, and she was screaming at me that I couldn't avoid her by pulling into some stranger's driveway and da 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 da. And I'm like, my address was on the driver's license, and I said, that's my house right
Oh,
there. Right there is my house.
wow.
And she's still screaming at me, accusing me of trying to avoid her, and I didn't even see her until after I pulled in. And she didn't believe me. And I was watching, and she kept going by and stopping at the top of the driveway like every half an hour. I think she figured that I just pulled into some stranger's driveway to try to avoid her. But, like I say, my address was on the driver's license. I mean, what the bloody hell? Excuse me. But
They sound really
California police
aggressive.
are ridiculous. They are ridiculous.
I
But then
didn't
at the
know.
same time, I know, like in Paramount, the police won't even go in there at night. So they have a pretty dangerous job in LA.
Yep.
So in that way, you can't blame them. But at the same time, they're really ridiculous.
Oh, Rob just went live. I didn't realize it was that late.
Oh, is it that late already?
I thought
Oh,
we
wow.
still had a
Oh, yep.
couple minutes.
Oh, one here.
Anthony, thank you so much. I'm going to cut it short because I don't want to go over my brother Rob for sure.
Yep. It was a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you
I
very much.
really enjoyed it.
It was very nice seeing you, Anthony.
It was. Hope to see more of you soon. Pam, thank you. Are you okay?
Nah, I'm dying.
Oh no. Where are the paintings hidden? That's what. Where are the paintings? Okay. Thanks everybody in the chat, and thank you moderators. You're awesome. Thank you members, and let's go over to Rob93. I think there's a link. I just posted it. So let's
And
head
we can
over
do
there.
hashtag Popo.
Hashtag Popo.
Yep.
You'll know what that means. Thanks, Anthony. Thanks again.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.